Alright, so this is going to be a tier list for Season 9. Just a little bit of predicting, but Bastion's definitely going to be up there. I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory. He does a shit ton of damage. He has even more health, so he's going to be even harder to kill. And with that new debuff, or that new passive that DPS have, he's going to be permanently giving tanks especially minus 20% healing. So yeah, and Widow being the pretty much the only one-shot character left in the game, she's definitely going to be up there. And then I'm going to put Kiri there and Ana there, just because Kiri can still, she can't two-tap anymore, but still being able to two-tap and like melee or two-tap and body shot, that's still going to be pretty damn strong, especially with how much follow-up she has, how fast she can shoot. Ana Anti, and her sleep. I feel like making Ana bad with her kit is honestly just not possible. Then the last one I'd put in dominant would be Sojourn, just because even though she can't one-shot, she still has enough follow-up to make it a one-shot. You know, it's kind of hard to explain, but her follow-up makes it still pretty much instant. Next, for pretty good, definitely Sig. He has plenty of survivability. He has the eat. He has a shield, and he has a pretty damn good stun. And his ult is fucking insane. Still, probably always will be. Oh shit, no. Sorry, forgot to put BAP up there. Immortality field, especially with this new debuff, is just going to be ridiculous to deal with. His immortality field is pretty much just going to be a lot more clutch, which I didn't think was possible. And then, where's Mei at? Where the fuck is Mei? There she is. Just because, again, she does constant damage. The LOSing of the tank is going to be massive, which it already has been, but even more so now. And then Zen, Discord, as with the DPS new passive, is just gonna be so fucking strong. And then he can also still kind of one-shot. Like his volley is almost instant. It's really hard to avoid getting volleyed if you don't know it's coming. And then after Zen, I'd put Zarya, just because she has ways of stopping the DPS passive. So she gets a little bit more survivability, which is more than what most tanks have. And then Soldier, he does constant damage, so he's going to be constantly dealing that new passive, minus 20% healing. So he's going to need that. Echo, she's just a tank melter, in my opinion. And right now, I feel like it's going to just be farming the tank with the minus 20% healing DPS passive. So she's going to be really good at that, especially with her laser beam and shit. All right, I put Trucker Queen. She's harder to hit, and she has some self heal, so she isn't going to completely explode unless this Widow is just shitting on her, which probably will happen a decent amount. Sim, I put her there just because she can deal constant damage, but I also feel like she doesn't really have a lot of survivability like Mei has, which is why she's not quite as high. And then Lucio, he's going to be... okay, with Lucio players, they're either insanely good or complete dog shit. There's like no in between. So I'm going to put him out alright, because even if you're really good with him, even though you have 50 extra health, I feel like dealing the extra 50 damage is going to be a little bit more of a disadvantage for you, even with the 50 health for you too. Ramantra, just because he can block a decent amount of damage. He's got that damage, what's it called? Damage reduction ability with his left shift ability, the punching form. I don't even know what it's called. And then where's Diva? Diva kind of the same thing. She can just eat the damage, but I feel like divas tend to feed a lot because they think that they have their rocket boost so they can get away, and then they just kind of take 300 damage to the face immediately and then die on their way out, or at least get demeched on their way out. And then, I mean, I'm just gonna put these two here for no. I mean, like, just because they're not gonna be bad, they're not gonna be great either. They're just kind of, doing what they were doing before. And then for mid, Malga for sure. Malga's gonna be so, like, just the middest of mid because Bastion is gonna be meta, and Malga can counter Bastion if Malga's team is playing with him, right? Like, I mean, I've seen Malga's just run at the Bastion, stun him, and then make the Bastion explode because that's what Malga does. But if you can keep Malga at a distance from the Bastion will annihilate the Malga, especially with a Widow. And then Tracer, everybody getting more health kind of fucks Tracer. Tracer, like, she might be able to make some plays, but I feel like she just really won't be. And then Ashe, I feel like she can still 2-tap people, so it's going to be a little bit harder for her to get value, because before she could one-shot headshot, one-shot body shot, but now she has to 2-tap the head. So she's going to be alright. Not alright, she's going to be, like, below average, I feel like, just because landing 2 headshots in a row is hard as fuck. And then Torb, only reason he's not almost useless is because he has the turret. Turret's going to be, I'm assuming the turret will give the minus 20% healing passive. If it doesn't, then he'd be an almost useless, maybe even down here. And then Orisa, just because she's survivable, she's not going to be killing anything, ever, like at all. So simply because she's good at living, I'd put her there. But she honestly might be worse, like not livable at all now with that 20% nerf to healing. And then Brig, I mean, the only reason she's even at mid is just because Arla's going to be played. I mean, Brig is going to be out of a job. Nobody's going to be playing dive with this new passive and the new health increase. So I feel like Brig is just kind of out of a job. And then Reaper, kind of same thing. Nobody's going to be playing dive. Nobody's going to be playing monkey for him to just farm that monkey. So, I mean, he's going to be completely mid without that monkey to farm. And then Sombra. Sombra's not going to be able to kill shit. Only reason she's this high is because her hack is pretty damn good. Her ult is pretty damn good. But other than that, she's not that great at all. Alright, almost useless. Alari, for sure. Only reason she was good before was because she did, really good damage. Now, with that health increase, I feel like she's not going to be able to do even half as much as she was before, because her healing is also super mid. McCree, I mean, he's barely even in the game right now, but now that he like has to 2-shot people, and it has to be a close range 2-shot, it's just not gonna work for him, especially with Bastion being meta. He's not gonna be able to do much, like, at all. Next I'm gonna go Hog. The only reason he is this low is because his hitbox is insane. He requires a shit ton of help from your supports, so now that he's going to be taking 20% less healing from both himself and his supports, he's going to be exploding. I feel like he might be able, if they're like really fucking good, they might be able to survive and make something happen, but that's a pipe dream. I feel like it could happen, but it probably won't be. Monkey, yeah, even though Widow's going to be meta, Bastion will also be meta, so Monkey won't be doing much at all into that Bastion comp, especially when he's getting 20% less healing. Yeah, he's going to explode. Pharah, even though she's getting that rework, I feel like not being able to 2-shot people to the bot, like direct impacting them as Pharah, is kind of insane. She should definitely be able to 2-shot direct impact people. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she's going to die before she can get 3 shots off to most people. Like, even to Ana. I feel like Ana could beat her. before she gets 3 shots off. And I mean, that's assuming that she's direct impact in the first 2 shots, which she probably isn't. Moira. Moira's always kind of been not great. I mean, her healing is insane, but I feel like now she can't really 1v1 most people just because they're going to be able to run away with 50 more health now. I feel like before with 200 health, you felt locked into that 1v1 because she could, her suck has a pretty far range, and you're probably not going to escape that range before she kills you. But I feel like now you probably can, or at least get to your supports. Starting off and fucked, Hanzo. He doesn't have the follow-up to not be a one-shot character. Right? Like, Widow's up here because she has somewhat of a follow-up. If she puts someone down to like 2 HP, she can just shoot them again. Hanzo can't do that. So he's gonna be completely fucked. Junkrat, same thing. He can't one-shot. His whole thing in high ranks is that he's a sneaky little rat, comes from nowhere and then insta-kills somebody. Now he can't even do that. So I don't really know how good Junkrats are going to play the game now. I feel like they really can't. So, I mean, good luck to them. Genji. You aren't going to be able to solo kill anything as Genji. Like, at all. Ooh, his blade is getting a 0.2 second decrease on the swing. He gets one more swing at his blade. Like, that's not going to do shit. The issue with his blade isn't that it doesn't kill things, it's that it doesn't kill things fast enough. Okay? So, I mean, it should have been a damage increase and a swinging increase. And that's like what it should have been. I feel like his blade is still going to be dog shit. And then we got Doomfist. This dude, it's hard enough to kill things right now. Now imagine what it's going to be like with everybody having 50 more health. At least 50 more health. It's going to be damn near impossible to do anything as Doomfist. And then Ball, same thing. Ball cannot, he's got a little tickle gun. Alright, he's not killing anything on his own. And now, like, before he might be able to get a kill and then run away at like 2 HP. That's like, if we're being generous. Now, he's just going to die. Like, every time. He's not killing anything. Alright, last one, Reinhardt. He's been the worst tank in the game since Overwatch 2 came out. And he's received, like, no buffs. I think, he got like 200 more shield health, and I think his swing does like 10 more health. They even took away his one-shot shatter if you're like point blank, which is kind of insane. That change was just kind of silly. I feel like it was fine when he had it. Nerfing Ryan is just kind of stupid, considering how terrible he is. But, yeah, this is what I'm going to have this at. Bastion for sure. Like, no matter what, Bastion is going to be meta. And I feel like Widow will be too, just being the only one-shot character left in the game, pretty much. The most played DPS are definitely going to be Bastion, Widow, Soj, like, for sure. Soj might drop a little bit, and Widow will probably go up a little bit, just because Soj players are going to go to Widow, because now Soj can't one-shot, even though she almost can. But again, it's different for Soj, because she has the follow-up. Hanzo doesn't. So even though Hanzo puts you down to 10 health, he does not have the follow-up like Soj does.